Employee versus entrepreneur versus intrapreneur. What are the advantages? What are the pros and cons? But more important than that, which one are you? You got to dial in this question because you're going to spend more time in your job, more time in your business, more time in your skill than you are going to spend with your spouse, with your kids, with your relationships, with your family, with your hobbies. It's sad, but it is the place that we're at, the curse of man kind of a thing. Want to go through these three things so that you know which one they are. And before we do that, though, I want to tell you that the answer to this question is going to change throughout your life. And you got to reassess this every, 3 months, 6 months, every year, something like that. Because as you go through life and become your creative best, it's what we're talking about here on Preferable Life, is you living out you and being your creative best. It's going to change. And you can't decide today that I'm an employee and that's my decision for the rest of my life, because things are going to change in your passions and hobbies and skills and all that, but we'll get into that. And so just want to tell you for sure that know what it is that you are right now, but that doesn't determine what it is for your whole entire life, and different ebbs and flows and seasons. So you got to launch, analyze, adapt. That's the formula to success. So you got to launch either entrepreneurship right now, or you got to launch entrepreneurship, or you got to launch employee right now. And then you analyze it, and 3 months from now, 6 months from now, whatever you do, you check it out again. You look at the pros and cons and you reassess and you launch the new way. So I'm gonna go through this as kind of a, not a story, but as a picture, a band. So we got a 3-piece band. We have a drummer, we have a guitar player, and we have a bass player, and we'll say the guitar player sings. So each one of these, one's going to be an employee, one's going to be an entrepreneur, and one's going to be an entrepreneur, to kind of give you examples of what the differences are. So employee, let's say the bass player is the employee. What does he do? She, girls can play bass too. He plays bass in the band, and it's a hobby. It's a fun thing, and it's not his source. Well, we'll say it's a source of income. So the reason why he doesn't, why he wants to do this employee thing, is because he has a larger passion in life, which is to take care of the homeless in his community. So he has a passion to end food hunger for his hungry people in his town. And he can't have a business because that will distract him from his passion, purpose thing in life. And so he needs to clock in, play the bass, and then clock out and go do his higher calling of taking care of the homeless. And that's the absolute biggest advantage of being an employee, is that you don't have to, you can clock out and you leave work at work. And the other two, you cannot do that. And so it is, if you have a passion to end human trafficking, a passion to help the broken in prison get whole again, to end the foster care getting into the world, and you have this purpose calling thing that's not monetizable, then you need to get a job. You need to have a job, because you want to devote your time and energy and your focus, but you still have to put food on the table. You still have to pay rent or pay your mortgage and those kinds of things. So you have to have a job. So the bass player has a passion, purpose in life, and he has a job playing bass. Entrepreneur, we'll call the guitar player the entrepreneur. He's the singer. It's his passion, it's his core, it's his creative best, is to play music all day long, 24/7. And in order for him to do that, he has to carve his own path. It is his oxygen. If he doesn't do this, he will die as a personhood. That's the number one sign that you are an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship has huge disadvantages. Risk is the number one. And so this guitar player wants that risk. The risk, it's not even on his radar, because he has to do this thing that is his business, his job, to make money. And he won't stop until it gets accomplished. Entrepreneurship has huge disadvantages. The guitar player wakes, drinks, and sleeps the writing of the songs, wakes, drinks, and sleeps the merchandise selling, wakes, drinks, and sleeps the getting the next gig. Entrepreneurship has huge curses. That's where I'm at right now, is entrepreneur, and it's all you think about. It consumes your mind. It's hard to turn it off. It's impossible to turn it off. And Gary Vee calls it his oxygen. And that is, whenever if you have this, I have to do this. And if I don't, I will die. That is the ultimate sign that you need to do entrepreneurship. And so there's that. So the drummer, Intrapreneur, super fun. The Intrapreneur, he wants to be the best drummer. He wants to, whenever he goes and watch other shows, he takes notes and watches the drummers and like, oh, that's a new way to do the hand thing, and that's a new paradiddle. I don't know all these drummer things, but so he has a skill, has a passion, has a woodworker is another kind of thing. Even management, wants to be the best manager, wants to be the best leader of people, but doesn't want the risk. He wants the merchandise profit and loss to be on the guitar player guy. And so he just wants to get better and better and better and better at his skill, at his passion, at his trade. And that's the game. So which one are you? Employee, intrapreneur, or entrepreneur? Leave me a note in the comments. I'd love to know. Like I said, launch, analyze, adapt is the formula for this. Do not, for me, I was an entrepreneur for a few years, a couple different times. And my entrepreneur boss, CEO guy, asked his mentor, hey, Josh is going to do this on his own at some point. How do we know when that point is? How do I know when to let go? How do I know when to kick him out so he can do his own thing? And the mentor guy was just like, you guys will just know. And that's the thing. You got to listen to what's going on in your life. And you just know that if I stay in my job and I don't do an entrepreneur thing, or if I stay in my entrepreneur thing and I don't get a job because I need to get out this risk stuff, then you slowly die over time and you have regret, and then it's no fun. And that is not preferable. And Preferable Life is the name. That's the game. Figuring out you, self-awareness. This is a huge step in self-awareness. I'm Josh, PreferableLife.com. If this helped you out, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe. I want to come alongside you, living out your creative best. Catch you on the next one.